let's get another one. Yeah, at some point I am gonna study the Dutch. I still haven't done that. I haven't really studied the Dutch. Okay, I'm here in double, so let's get rid of that extra tab. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right, we got e4. Let's do it. So I have two games so far with the black pieces this stream. So hopefully I get a couple games with the white pieces as well. All right. We got 2 pawns attack. This is like normal Alekhine stuff. They kick around my knight. I contest the center. All right, we got the 4 pawns attack. I'm always excited to get a 4 pawns attack. I feel like, yeah, white. If they play this correctly, white has a huge advantage here. But as it turns out, it's not so easy to hold on to this center. And already on move 7, white has made a slight inaccuracy. Knight here is not a good move, because this pin is actually kind of nasty. It's kind of difficult to deal with. So knight f3 is not a terrible move. However, it's not a great one either. And actually already I'm pretty sure I can take here. Takes, and if the queen takes back, I'm already winning a pawn. The queen can try to win another pawn, but I'm just forking everything there. That's not good. So after takes, they kind of have to take back with the pawn. That's very, very uncomfortable. I mean, just look at this diagonal. This is a big problem for white. And already I'm gonna take advantage of it. Bishop here. Funny enough, I've had this position a million times. I mean, truly, I've had this position a million times. So I would hope that I know how to play it. Okay, look, there's a good move. Like, they're taking basically the only semi-open file on the board. And they're just taking it immediately with the rook, which makes a lot of sense. I'm sorry, there's one other semi-open file too, but there's a lot. This is pretty clogged. So I think for sure bishop h4 check is already looks great to me. Yeah, absolutely. And if they block with the bishop, I'm gonna take with check. I'm gonna give another check. Yeah, this seems bad to me because actually the pawn is pinned. So I have two good moves here, I think. I have 2 really good moves that I'm liking, which is knight here. I have 2 ways of winning a pawn. Knight takes here. The pawn is pinned, so they can't recapture. And there I'm actually threatening another pawn. I also like this move. Knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. It's a check. The king runs. Kind of like this a bit better, but I can't explain why. I mean, I think I'm winning another pawn there. That's why I like it. I'm potentially winning another pawn there on c4. All right, this is a critical moment, so I'm gonna spend some time. I'm trying to evaluate which. I'm winning a pawn here one way or another. I'm trying to evaluate which is better though. Actually, this takes with check, and I can castle queenside there. That looks pretty good. Knight here. I honestly don't know what the right move is here. Oh no, I'm no. They actually can't take back. I just realized, because the rook is hanging in the corner. So for the time being, they actually can't take back. Probably they're best advised to just duck away with the king on this move. That would be the best move. Yeah, absolutely. So here I can support the knight with c5 potentially. I mean, they are threatening to win the knight here. I can also retreat the knight this way. Yeah, that looks good actually. Knight here looks pretty good because I'm actually holding on to g7 there. They could go for the queen trade. I should be happy with that. I'm just up a pawn there in that resulting position. Knight here. I'm just up a pawn simply. My bishop's not in trouble. Always can escape. Always can return along this diagonal. That looks really good. I'm just up a pawn. It's unclear what white has in that resulting position. I think they're gonna jump in here with their knight. That's what they should do at some point. It's just, I'm not sure if it's really a problem for me, honestly. Yeah, knight here. I am threatening a bishop. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm threatening the bishop here. They should respond. Takes? I could see taking either way. So here I do have the option of taking with check. And then I can potentially give another check. Like if the king recaptures, I can castle with check, which looks great. So they give me the option of doing that here. And it looks good. I don't see a good reason not to give this check. There's no real downsides. Like they can clog the file with knight here, maybe. Yeah, maybe they clog the file with knight here. No, but that's not good. That's not good. They're just jump. No. That's actually not good. Anyway, you slice it. That's not good. All right, let's give the check. I'm gonna win the bishop on the next move. Yeah, of course they can't actually just retreat the bishop and keep it. Okay, so here I can see capturing back either way. I can see either way actually. I'm not sure it matters too much, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on this move. I'm gonna capture back this way because I don't want to allow the knight to get to this square. D6, that would be a big problem for me. It's a big priority here. I can give this check. Not sure what it accomplishes though. It doesn't really accomplish too much. I can give this check. That actually looks better. Knight here looks good. And I'm ready to play G6 there. I don't want to allow a bunch of trades here. I have a feeling like my opponent's kind of their situation is kind of precarious here. So I don't want to like let the pedal off the metal here. Like I do want to play with a sense of urgency and make some threats. I can continue making threats with knight here, but are my pieces getting into trouble there? That's the question. I don't think so. Oh wow, actually, I might just be winning. I might be winning material here. I might be winning material here. Yeah, no, I am. That might be a full rook actually. If I can extract this knight, that'll be a full rook. Okay, yeah, just resigns. And I see why. I mean, this is a miserable position. So, yeah, I thought that was like a good display of like how to dismantle the four pawns attack. Yeah, my opponent didn't. Oh my god, look at that 99% accuracy. Yeah, granted, it was a relatively short game. Like, how many moves were there? There were 19 moves. Okay, that's not bad for a 19 move game. And I'm not sure they did have a blunder. They had one big blunder kind of in the middle of it. Okay, so maybe it's not all that impressive. 99%, that's not bad. That's not bad for a game that was not super short. All right, 1e4. We got this four pawns attack. They kick around my knight. We contest the center immediately. F4, and incidentally, this is my favorite line against the Alekhine, like with the white pieces when I was an e4 player, which I guess I still am sometimes. Like I loved playing this line for white. It's a crazy aggressive response to the Alekhine, and I don't know. I thought I disarmed it pretty well. So takes is the move, and we immediately develop our knight, and we've got a pretty big development advantage in this position. White's got 3 pawns out on the board. I have 2 minor pieces to white's none. So white is a big center here, but black has a development advantage. And yeah, already knight f3 is an inaccuracy. Yeah, it's not a good move because already I give this pretty nasty pin. And surprisingly, like this is not so easy to deal with because now I have 3 minor pieces on the board to white's 1. And I'm putting major pressure on the pawns in the center here. So after bishop e3 takes, and already it's very hard to hold on to these pawns. I don't have a way of like winning them immediately, but of course like queen takes isn't great because I'm just winning a pawn here. And the queen can take one of my pawns, but then I'm forking everything. Yeah, it's like a big problem for white. So actually they can't even take there with their queen, or they shouldn't. Yeah, very uncomfortable. So that's why they took with the G pawn. But this really weakens this diagonal against the king. So already I could force the king to go on the run here. And yeah, this is terrible. I mean, the big center, the big huge pawn center that they built is falling apart. Taking this d4 pawn, but it's not just a pawn. It's arguably the most important pawn on the board. So you'll see the computer evaluations says minus 2.2. So which I think just reflects how important that single pawn is. After this move, yeah, White's whole position falls apart at the seams. This is not the same as like if I were to lose this g7 pawn, which wouldn't be ideal, but it's just not the most critical pawn on the board in the way that d4 is, excuse me. Yeah, and oh, I like this move. Just kind of like maintaining the tension. I am making threats. I'm threatening the bishop, and I'm also defending. It's a multi-purpose move. I'm defending g7. So it turns out I didn't even have to give away this pawn. Which, by the way, I was fully ready to part ways with this pawn. I got, because the rook took the open file. Bishop takes. Yeah, I went for the queen trade. They took back with the king. We gave a check. Very important. Like, there's no. This is an intermezzo, but this can be dangerous if the bishop had a good way of like returning and blocking this check. Then this would be a big mistake, castling here. But as it turns out, there's no way for this bishop to return and block the check. So takes. I like taking this way because I'm keeping control over these two squares. I think taking the other way would be fine. However, I was a little bit annoyed. No, it actually wouldn't be great. And I think it's because knight here, the knight is eyeing the square, and that's really, really uncomfortable if I allow the knight to get there. In fact, I would probably just return with my bishop, just keeping an extra pair of eyes on these kind of weak dark squares, which the knight would really want to occupy. So I'm happy to see that taking with the a pawn was the best move, because I'm just keeping control over d6 in particular. Yeah, I mean, this is over. This is a nice tactic. Of course, it's not even really a tactic here, but yeah. Everything fell apart for white. Everything fell apart. Alright, GG's. That one was a lot better than the first.